Welcome to the TexAgs Live Rewind. We are sponsored by Specs, the 4-time retailer of the year.
We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio.
We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio.
Yeah, we are.
David, what was your favorite part of the show today?
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
What a great question, Zach. My favorite part of the show was the differences of opinion, and they weren't that different, between Josh Pate and Connor O'Gara. They were on two different segments. I kind of merged those. I don't know if they're on the Rewind, Nick. What else is on the Rewind?
Well, we had Ross Stripling and we had Olin Buchanan.
What was your favorite part?
I was a big fan of Connor O'Gara.
Yeah.
Enjoyed his take.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Tell the people what they should probably do.
Yeah. Like, comment.
No, not yet.
What?
Tell them to watch. They got to watch the Rewind.
Oh, okay. My bad. Watch the Rewind. Like.
No,
comment.
just
Yes.
watch the Rewind. We'll tell them that part at the end.
Oh, my bad.
Just watch.
Watch the Rewind, guys. Best up.
I'll just hit on last year's 24 players in 24 days, maybe the top 5, or if you want me to go a little bit farther, you can tell me.
Let's go 5.
Maybe, okay, let's do 5. So you can tell me if y'all think they need to be, or should have been up or down on the list. Number 1, y'all got it right already, Connor Wigman. I think we all know the answer to that one. Number 2 was Shamar Turner. How do we feel about that?
Injured, so didn't play up to that level.
Yep.
Number 3 was Nick Scorton.
I don't think he played to that level.
No.
I think he did. Definitely against Arkansas.
Yeah, there were moments.
At the time, moments, but not consistently.
Number 4 was Torian York.
No,
I don't think he played top 5.
To that level.
I don't think he played top 5.
And then last but not least, number 5, Bryce Anderson.
No,
he didn't play. So your top 5 players, not one that we say reached the level. Is that right?
no. None of them.
Okay, I just want to hear. I want to go through 10. Sorry, I'm intrigued.
Yeah. We'll go number 6, Trey Zune III.
Yeah,
he did.
Number 7, Le'Veon Moss.
Yeah. Oh, he did above.
Number 8, Shamar Stewart.
I think he was a top 10 player.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because he did things other than rush the passer.
Yeah, I put him in top 10.
Number 9 was Reuben Owens, and if I remember correctly, that story came out like
a day
or two before he hurt himself.
Yeah, so that's incomplete.
Yeah.
And then number 10, Noah Thomas.
Yeah,
top 10 player.
No, Thomas was a top 10 player.
So hold on. Of the top 10 players that TexAgs and our subscribers all voted on, only 2 of the top 10 reached their level. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think we said 3.
3?
I think we said Noah, Shamar Stewart, and actually 4. And then we said Le'Veon Moss and Trey Zune.
Okay. 4 of the 10.
4 of 6. Yeah, I think you got to have a better average than that. Yeah.
You'd be a Hall of Famer in baseball, but not in the 24 and 24 Hall of Fame.
Yeah, think of it as being a football quarterback. You know, you need to complete 70%.
Maybe one day we will go through and see who did above and beyond.
Yeah, so the comparison I used was Cam Ward last year. Not to say Marcel needs to be Cam Ward, but what you don't want is you don't want him in a situation like Cam Ward was in last year, where Cam Ward walks in the door at Miami and everyone sort of said, all right, it's on you. And it was on him. And he played at a Heisman caliber level, but that's what it took. And when you watched Miami games last year, there were games where Cam Ward walks in the building knowing, I got to score 45 today for us to win, as it turns out. That should never be a situation Marcel Reed is in this year. That's not the way Elko's built the team. That's not the way the roster's constructed around him. You should be good enough at pass catcher. You absolutely should be able to run the ball whenever you need to. That should be everything working off of that. And then defensively, you should be a lot better to where 24 can win you some games. And you're playing a very complementary style. If you're at a lower level school, it's excusable that you may not have a roster built up and you get a star quarterback dropped in your lap. Okay, we're going to ride him. A&M should never have to ride Marcel Reed. Now, having said that, that's also not to say that he needs to be the invisible 11th man over here and just be serviceable. He does need to elevate his game. But if those two themes sort of coincide, that's how you're in the SEC championship picture in November.
Simple question. How important is consistency at quarterback? And then I'm just going to do a repeat history lesson, all right? 2021, you thought you had Haynes King as your starter. You lost him in game 2 of the season to Colorado. You had Zach Calzada, who played well at times and not so well the rest of it. The next year, you went through Max Johnson, Haynes King, and Connor Wigman. The year after that, Connor gets hurt. You get Max again. You get Jalen Henderson. You get Marcel Reed. This past season, 24, you thought you had Connor. He didn't look right, got hurt. Marcel comes in. Connor comes back, looks great against Missouri, doesn't look good again. and then Marcel's a quarterback. They have not had a consistent quarterback since Kellen Mond. And you can't win. I don't care if you're Alabama, you're Texas, or anybody. You cannot win with a multiple people at that position. So just let's talk about the consistency at that position if you get 10, 12 games from Marcel.
That's why it's always been an if with them, and rightfully so. If you're an A&M fan or if you hate A&M, you've got to objectively look at the quarterback position there. And it's if only because it's been so long since you said you want consistency. We could just have consistency in name.
Yeah, Casey Concepcion is going to be obviously a huge part of that. And what he did as a freshman at NC State, becoming a freshman All-American, there are high hopes that he can be that guy because Marcel Reed needs it. I mean, let's just call it what it is. I don't know that the Amari Niblack thing is going to necessarily work out, and he's going to become this stud, unbelievable separator in that offense. I think, he kind of struggled behind Gunnar Helm on the depth chart at Texas last year, but there's still going to be that hope that Concepcion can stretch the field for you, and he can do things that are yard after the catch, that allow a quarterback to feel like, all right, I can dump the ball off to this guy, 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and he could turn it into 20. A&M didn't have really that guy either last year, and I do wonder what it's going to look like. Noah Thomas is somebody that can fill a specific role, and that's not to say that A&M won't miss him at times. I think he's going to do things at Georgia that they missed, but you're right. They didn't really have that separator last year, and it's kind of tough to run an offense and run a successful passing game when you don't really have that element.
And I'll throw in another name, Mario Craver. I thought in flashes for Mississippi State, he was fantastic.
Yeah, and how much of that, too, is we tend to, I don't want to say overvalue what true freshmen do, but I do kind of want to see what it looks like more so against SEC competition. He's a guy that if you look at his production last year, some of which came against those non-SEC teams, you're kind of wondering, all right, how's that going to translate year two? Is he going to be one of those guys that makes that big jump? They obviously need him to on the outside. So much of this A&M passing game will depend on that, and it'll depend on finding those guys that can have bounce back years or, step up and have that natural progression. And obviously he's somebody that they have high hopes for.
Talking to Connor O'Gara here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Another thing about this offense, something I brought up with Josh Pate earlier, is that like A&M just has not had a consistent voice at quarterback since I've been here. It has been 2-3 quarterbacks every year, like 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm just curious what kind of steps Marcel can make if he is the guy for an entire season. Because a year ago, I thought it was going to be Connor Wigman all season, and that didn't work out.
I did too. And look, I still have my Connor Wigman stock. I still have my Haynes King stock. It's still there. It's doing pretty well, actually. I don't know. I think I was going to sell high after the Georgia game. All those overtimes, people were just heaping praise on Haynes King, being like, man, he's such a gamer. Look what he's doing for Brent Key. And obviously the job that he's done to be at this place in college football, it's been fun to watch. I know even Aggie fans, that's a guy that you can still root for. But yeah, I think Marcel Reed just being kind of Kellen Mond-ish.
Talk to me about your decision to retire. Why did you come up with it now? What was your reasoning?
Yeah, this is funny. This is the first time I've talked about it to anyone that's not family or really close friends. So all this will kind of be the first time I've spoken it out loud. I showed up for one. We got a son that's 5 weeks old. He's our third son. His name is Case. He basically was born on opening day. So all the while knew that he was coming. So I showed up to Kansas City in spring training, and it was kind of make the team or bust, to be honest. I just knew with the third boy coming and kind of where I was physically and mentally, I wanted to be in the big leagues or I wanted to, call it a career. And last day they said, Strip, we don't see you on the team as of now. And, they said all the right things. They wanted me to go to AAA. I opted out because you never know, another team might want you. That didn't happen. Other couple of AAA offers. Long story short, nothing in the big leagues. And honestly thankful for that. It made my decision very easy. Opening day was weird, but I was holding a newborn baby, watching a lot of my former teammates play, and just kind of came and went. And a month later, I was still at peace with the decision. I miss the guys. I miss the locker room, the travel, the amenities of being a big leaguer for sure. But I haven't really missed pitching all that much, which I'm thankful for. And obviously I'm in the trenches over here with 3 kids. But, I just think it ran its course, man. It's not like I've had the 2 best seasons of my career the last 2 years. Spring training, if I would have thrown 12 scoreless innings didn't make the team, maybe a different thing. But, I feel like the game was telling me, Strip, it's okay to move on. And so here I am, a month into retirement. Yesterday was a lot of fun. A lot of people reaching out, reminiscing on some cool memories with some teammates and stuff. But, still feel good about the decision here today.
All right, Mr. Reese, can you close it out? But I want you to do your British closeout.
All right, let me get in scene. Let me get in character. All right, crumpets and tea. All right. Comment, share, subscribe. I'm already messed this up.
That was better.
Yeah, that was
definitely
better.
better.
Than the last one.
Do you have a Spanish accent?
You're going to get him canceled here.
No, I'm part of the community. I can do it. I go to the meetings.
I mean,
you don't.
No, I mean I can say like azul, rojo.
I didn't say pronounce Spanish words.
I mean I get. Well, it gives me a character.
Okay. All right. We'll see you guys next time. This was fun.